Good morning, everybody. What's happening? Thank you for tuning into the channel. Appreciate you as always. I'm going to give an update. This video is going to be a little bit about my personal life and what's going on. For those of you that have never been here before, I'll explain a little so you can catch up, not too difficult. Hit the subscribe button. Everybody else, welcome back. As you guys know, I am going through a divorce right now. And it's not easy, never easy to go through a divorce. I've been pretty down in the dumps. My videos have slowed down a little bit because of that, but just hang in there with me because they're going to pick back up soon. But I really want my viewers to understand something. So I'm going to really race you through my history so you could really comprehend what I'm trying to get to you in this video. uh, I had a very, very rough upbringing as a child. I was in a lot of trouble. I had a father who left me when I was a kid. I had a mother who was out of her mind. I ended up getting sexually abused as a child. This took me to drug addiction, and then that drug addiction took me into a whole life of trouble, right? And so my life really turned into chaos. My life was spent in juvenile detention centers, rehabs, group homes, psychiatric hospitals. Just it led me into 11 arrests. I'm not making an excuse. I'm telling you about the reality that happened to me. For those of you that don't know, and I'll take you through that again. When I was 4, my father left. I had a mother who was out of her mind. Then at about 8 or 9 years old, I started getting sexually abused. That turned me to drug addiction. That drug addiction hid the pain and the embarrassment. That drug addiction numbed all the emotions that I was going through, which led me into a life of trouble, into various institutions throughout my life, until sadly, at the age of 24, I was responsible for taking a man's life in a fight. And that was a real big turning point for me, obviously, because I never wanted to reach that point. So the good Joe Fish, the caring Joe Fish, the natural caregiver that I am, the person that loves people, the hyperactive Joe Fish, was buried because I had to numb myself for so many years and caused a lot of destruction. And I went into the prison system for 17 years straight. And it was in the prison system that I eventually got myself clean. I started to educate myself extensively in various areas, try and put my life together, really concentrated on helping the youth and making a difference in their lives. And then I would be released about 12 years ago. You guys follow me? You with me right now? And so I have been with my current wife right now for the past 10 years. Um, and we've been married for a few of them, and we were in business together, living in a beautiful home, 6 dogs. I helped raise her 3 children. It was, it's come to an end. It's come to the point where we're getting divorced. Several weeks ago, maybe even a month ago already, she said it's time for you to go. And so when it's time for me to go, this is a major problem for me, because what I just explained to you is, imagine being in my position, in your 50s, with an extensive criminal rap sheet, uh, a tremendous amount of PTSD from when I was a kid, and a tremendous amount of PTSD from 17 years in prison and solitary confinement and the things I was exposed to. And I'm not saying I didn't do it to myself. I'm not saying that. I did it to myself, right? But I had went through a tremendous amount. And what kid is psychologically evaluating his behavior? I was just trying to survive. But anyway, imagine trying to, your wife tells you now you got to go, and I have an extensive criminal history. I have all these issues to deal with. I have physical limitations because, I've had a heart attack, I've had a hip replacement. And so now I got to go out and find a job and a place to live, right? And my point is, in telling you all that, right, is that if I can survive all that, and well, which I'm doing so far, then you could as well if you have problems. I was living out of, like, basically living out of my van a few weeks ago, until my wife allowed me to come back here into the man cave until I find a place, and find the job. And not easy to find the job in my circumstances, and not easy to find the place. I'm losing the roof over my head and my job at the same time because my wife and I ran a business together. And as far as what I'm entitled to and all that, we're not getting into the personal details that deep. The point is, I just got to go. I have to walk away. And she's not being mean with me. She's helping me out. We're not screaming and yelling at each other. It's just, unfortunately, time to part ways, right? So I found so that's the story. That's what's going on with me. Obviously, I've been majorly depressed. My videos have suffered a little bit, but stick with me. They're going to come back because normally I cover, what the prison system is like, what it's like to be in the prison system emotionally and mentally. I make a lot of videos trying to focus on, leading the youth in the right direction, helping them refrain from making the decisions I made. And we're going to get back to that. I just got to get through this little stage right here. I just got to get through this bump in the road, which is a real big bump. So I did find I had two job offers. The first one I couldn't take. The guy wanted me to work 11-hour days, 6 days a week. And the money was decent, but I just physically can't do that. I'm being honest with you. I know me, my head is all screwed up, and to do 60 hours a week, 64 hours a week, I can't just dive into that. I would crash and burn. I got so much going on. But then there was another little part-time job available. I was hired for that. I'm probably going to start next week. They hired me yesterday. So it looks like at least I'll have a little income. And I also found an apartment. The apartment is pretty rough, as you see from the pictures. I had to bring in a friend of mine who was an electrician to fix the lights. Today, in about an hour, I'm going to, with another guy that I met who's a plumber. He's going to come get the sink hooked up in the bathroom for me because nobody was living in this basement apartment. It was a friend of mine. It's an old friend of mine, and he said, Fish, if you want to go stay down there, you can stay down there. I'll charge you an inexpensive rent. He said, but you got to put it together yourself. He doesn't really have the means to do it, so he said, you got to fix it. So as you see, I got to put a floor down. I have to do that. The floor is just chopped up cement. It's pretty bad. So I'm going to go do that. I figure I could do that for around 1,500. I priced it. I'm going to get that done. I'm going to get painting done. I'm going to finish painting and paint the place. I had the electrician come in. I have the play. It's a lot. It's a lot of work, man. But as I said, it's a cheaper apartment. I'll be able to hopefully uphold for a little longer. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm at. It's only 2 rooms. There's no kitchen down there. As you see, it's rough. It's rough. But I lived in a cell for 17 years. I'm also a clean freak, so I will get it together. I'm going to show you after pictures. I can't make it a bedroom and a living room because the living room is going to have to be my tools. I need a room for all my tools. I can't afford to pay for storage, and I have to keep my tools because they can always make you a little extra money. So I'm just going to put all my tools in the front room after I get it cleaned up, and then in the back room will be my bedroom where I sleep and where I put everything. I'll just bring with me what I can. So that's where I'm at. It's a little rough, it's a little rough. And I have to tell you, when the video camera comes off, I'm not in as good shape as you see me right now. I'm a little depressed. I'm a little stressed. I'm suffering anxiety. This is really rough. Not easy to do when you're in your 50s. Completely start over with close to nothing. But I'll do it. I'm gonna do it. One way or another. I'm gonna bang this out, man. Once I get it, I just got to get that apartment together. You know what I mean? And even there's no kitchen in there, but it's fine. I'll put a hot plate in there, I'll put a coffee maker in there, I'll put a little baby fridge in there, and it'll be a place for me to lay my head. The shower's working, the toilet's working. That's good. I got to paint the bathroom. That needs to be done. So I'll get it done, guys. When when there's an obstacle in front of you, right? There's an obstacle in front of you, you got to go over it. And if you can't go over it, then you go under it. And if you can't go under it, you go around it. And if you can't go around it, then you just smash through it. And I'm trying to stay in that mind frame. It's not easy. not easy. I definitely have some depression, but it is what it is at the same time. And I have to make the best of it, because I don't have family. It's a shame to say that I don't have family because my mother is alive, and she's in the state of Florida. I actually, a couple of months ago, explained the situation because it was coming. I said, listen, Ma, I'm screwed. I have nowhere to go. I'm going to be homeless. My mother owns her home in the state of Florida. She didn't invite me there. She doesn't even respond. She doesn't even respond. She's just out there. I didn't do anything wrong to her. Didn't do nothing wrong to her. But, I live a drug free, alcohol free, smoke free life since 10 years before I got out of prison. And I don't do anything wrong. But my mother just is shot. She's the type of woman, she calls the police on her neighbors for planting flowers. You know, her dentist told her, don't come see me again. If you come see me again, I'll call the police on you. I don't want you on my property. That's what her dentist told her. That's what her therapist told her. The 10 therapists that she's had in the past 2 years have all told her, don't come here anymore. We can't help you. So it's not me. So that's my mother. My father is a waste of life. He's just a waste of life. He walked away when I was 4 years old and never looked back. I explained the situation to him, and he was a cop for 20 years. So in the business life, he's fine. In the personal life, his world is all about him. He's never cared about his children. He's never bought me a pair of socks or underwear since the day I was born. All he does is talk a good game, right? And I contacted him and told him, listen, I need help. Dad, maybe you could find me a job down in Florida. I could come down there, start over. He goes, I'll call you back. Never heard. He goes, good luck. I'll call you back. Never heard from him again. That was 6 months ago, 7 months ago. You know, and I have a brother, who, I love my brother, but he's not the type that would open the door and extend his hand, which is something that I don't understand. Because if he called me and I had a house, I say, there's a bedroom right there for you. I'll put it together, move in, stay as long as you want, get on your feet. I love you and you're good. You know what I mean? You'll be all right. I'm going to help you. That's what I would do for him, but he hasn't extended that offer to me. Maybe he has his personal reasons for it. I don't know, but that's the way it is. And that's my family. There is nobody else. So I don't really have anybody else to turn to. And so I'm basically doing this on my own. I got to make it happen. I'll fit what I can fit into that apartment. I'll put it together. It's hurting me. It's hurting the bank, but I'm going to do my best and get this little part-time job and get on my feet and try and get rolling. Once I'm settled in the apartment and I could take a breath and relax and lay down. Of course, I'm going to search for even better employment. I'm going to try my best. That's what I'm doing, trying my best. For the people that have supported me along the way on YouTube, I just want to say that I love you. And I mean that. I have love in my heart for you. Some of you have been very special, man. And it's not just the ones that even sent me a little money to help me get on my feet. I'm talking about the conversations, the words, the inspiration. I am so grateful for that. I am so blessed for that. There is some good to social media. Especially the old timers say, "Oh, social media is a waste. Social media is so bad for the kids." Social media, right? YouTube is a part of social media, and for me, it has been a real motivating factor in listening to you guys tell me, "Yo, Fish, you can do it. You got this." It helped me a lot. It helped me a lot, and I appreciate you for that. I definitely have considered it building meaningful friendships with a few special people. It's really nice. It's really nice, especially when lifelong friends, people that I was born and raised with, have basically turned their backs, and you learn a lot about people. When you're down, you learn a lot about people when you're down. But I knew that when I went to prison. When I went to prison, 99% of the people just vanished on me, like I did them wrong, and I didn't. I was always a caregiver, always a caretaker, and but whatever. That's a different story. I got to go get the plumber right now. I got to start my day. I just want to thank you guys. I'll send you updated pictures as the apartment starts to come together, as long as I could stay focused enough, because I'm not in as good condition when the camera goes off. It's a lot of stress, man, a lot of stress. I feel like I'm gonna have a freaking heart attack, but I'm gonna stay determined, though. one way or the other, man. I'll stay determined. Let me get this posted, man. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. You can follow my journey a little bit. This channel is not about my journey. It's about the prison system and following criminal cases and educating people about the emotions involved with being incarcerated and how the criminal world and criminal element works, and telling stories about my past. That's what this channel is about. But right now, I just got to get through this. And so if you want to hit the subscribe button, hit the subscribe button, and you can watch me put things together a little bit, which I hope I do. And then we'll get back to normal programming like you see on the TV. Stay tuned, and we'll be back to our normal programming real soon. All right, guys, much love. I will talk to you later. Let me get this up. Did I forget anything? I don't think I forgot anything. I'll see you later.